Hey YouTube, what's up? Dr. T here, and welcome to the ALTCOIN Express and my hometown, St. Petersburg, Florida, where we target turning $23,000 into a cool million in 5 years by trading altcoins and Ethereum on the Binance Exchange. Take a moment to have a look at beautiful St. Petersburg, a little piece of paradise to live in. So hi, I'm going to update my situation and redefine what this $1 million challenge kind of gimmicky kind of thing is all about. A few days ago I was on ESO, quite happily there. It was the leading coin, and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. It's going fucking nowhere. So I got hyper frustrated. I noted that ontology was moving off its base, so I walked away from this. Okay, it went up. Over to ontology. I wouldn't call these mistakes as such. I mean, it's just what it is, you know. So I got onto ontology and I made a bit of money on ontology, and I was waiting for it to come down, and I thought, oh, this is going to take a while. And I went looking at another one that I've been following, Verge, thinking, oh, Verge is about to bottom out. I might be able to take a ride on Verge while we're waiting for this to come down. Yeah, well, famous last words. And as we see, ontology is going up like a bitch. However, once you've made a decision, I think it's good to stick with it. So Verge, here is Verge. How far back we need to go? All right, let's come forward a bit. Yeah, well, there was some news recently. Verge has got into a partnership with Pornhub and Braziers, and that's kind of shook things up a bit, but you know, things will just go down the road eventually. But yeah, well, this is its latest upside, and I'd been sort of following it, and there's a lot of dipshit, buy a penny, dump a penny idiots on here. So it's kind of, I did make some profits. Obviously there's a couple of sell-offs where I've picked up more than a few thousand, but yeah, there's a lot of idiots on here who don't know their ass from their elbow. The minute it goes up, they dump it. The minute it goes up, they dump it. But you know, I've made the decision. I'm going to stick with it because the upside here is humongous, and that is that. I am on Verge for better or worse until it decides to go up. Now, the $1 million challenge idea was a catch to kind of get people interested in a certain sense of the word, and it came about by taking $1 million, estimating or guessing or hoping that you could get 100% upside each year, and dividing it by 2 and going back from $1 million to 500,000, 250, 125, 60 and 30, so on and so forth. Well, that is not quite the same as cumulative gain. So I've had to restructure it because where my gain stands now doesn't make any sense in regard to 5 years. So in order to attempt to do this is kind of bright. Oh, another wonderful thing. The other day I hit a button on here, it scrambled something out, dropped down a window, couldn't get rid of it, so I deleted it and deleted the whole of my friggin' spreadsheet, so I had to rebuild it all over again. But I'll explain something. So I built it out. This is my numbers chart that I'm just adding to on this so-called challenge. Let me get to what this is. So in order to find out what kind of percentage, I can't even see this now. In order to find out what kind of percentage one needs to apply to this, you really have to take it out for a period of time. So I took it out for 3 years. It looked ridiculous, so I've taken it out for 2 years, and I just put in a number and massage it until it comes out right. I've got it pretty close. So based on the current percentage cumulative gain per day required. There's 2 years, $1 million. Well, this is just hypothetical. So we take that number, come back up here when we get there eventually, sometime next week. So this just keeps being massaged and massaged until I get that number out. Okay, now that number then gets transferred over here onto the $1 million challenge spreadsheet, if you will, and it gets put in here. So that's the current, no, that's the new numbers here. So it gets put in here and it gets added up. And I've extended this out all the way down here because I am currently, that's the current gains. These are the gains I've got on VGX. So I actually did make some money on them, $2.5 grand, a penny, another few grand. So VGX has brought some money my way. There's no two ways about that. This is the Ethereum number to which the last buyout, sellout is connected. So that's the amount of coins Ethereum I had, and that's connected to that. So that's the relative value of what it is when I get back to there. And this is the current stock I hold. I just buy into one coin. It's evolved, like all things evolve. I just pick a coin and I stay in it, and I learn how to sell off appropriately and buy back appropriately, and that's an ongoing thing. So currently there has been invested 26,000 into this account. There's another 15 on the way. It didn't get wire transferred in Friday, annoyingly, but it will be early next week. So this is going to go up to 41,000, and that will be that forever. That's the current gain. So these numbers, the current gain calculates out to be 28% of this. So that will change when the numbers go in. So this is the required gain to meet the 2 year, hypothetically, of getting this amount of money to $1 million in 2 years. So we run this down. I had to run it down all the way down to the bottom of middle of June to get it to come into parity. As you understand, that's where it would cross the line of saying I'm getting behind, so to speak. But we're nowhere near there. We're here. And that's why I can afford to wait around for those silly asses on Verge to get their act together. What are they doing right now? They're doing this stomp and dump. But people nickel and diming with $100 worth of coins, a bunch of fucking idiots. But anyway, eventually it will get sorted out and it will go for a run like it did before. So all I have to do is sit and wait around. But what does it matter for a few days? Here the target is 6.5%. I'm on 28%. Now this goes by the average of this number. So eventually, if I didn't gain any more money, it bottoms out as to being, and that's the average. If you keep your average above there on a daily basis, it'll make X% in a period of time. In this case, it'll make $1 million in 2 years. So enough of that fanciful shit. So over here we have, let me stop and think what that is. Okay, this represents the average gain going forwards. There's $700 gain, but on average that will change. On average, the daily average would change. So this is the daily average gain projected down, and so on and so forth, from which other interesting numbers are projected, i.e. the yearly amount that you'll get, and I plot that on the chart just because I like to play with numbers. But the point is that I'm sitting here right now on 28% gain against 6.5% gain, and waiting for Verge to get off its ass. So Monday I'm going to rephrase all of this and put the challenge to get from my 41,000 to 2 million in 2 years based on this. Now there's another perspective here, and that of course we are connected to the major coins. So we'll go and have a look at Ethereum. And the next thing is to kind of, well, how far will it go? Let me get some light on here. where are the majors going? We know they're in a big buy up right now. We'll just look on here because it's easier to follow. So there's its downside, and I mean, I've just dropped a line out here hypothetically, picked a number, 1,000, dropped a line out to the end of July. So if you kept on that line, Ethereum would hit 1,000 come the end of July. Who knows where it's going to go? What it is going to do is it's going to find some kind of parity. It'll go up until the marketplace says enough of this going up at $1 million a minute, and it's going to kind of level off, and we're going to find some kind of balance from which it's then going to move in a more reasonable manner. Where this is, nobody knows. But if it goes from here to there, then that upside is not insignificant, and all the other coins will go along. And it's only a couple of months down the road. So, you know, what is it now? 600, 700, 50%. That's 1,050. Well, and that's a bit of an exaggeration. But even at 1,050, you know, it's 50% up. It's astronomical. If it gets there, well, hello. So one doesn't know where that's going. It's just going to go where it goes, and one's following along. And I like to drop my lines. This is the current line. That is the projected line, and see where it's going. So it's kind of regrouping for the moment. So that's kind of a summary of my objectives and where things are going. And when this reaches my buying price and I make a penny, then I'll put out a post to readdress the target and the like. But in the interim, that's kind of an update.